One big challenge for India has always been translating good science into products. A very, very difficult task. Part of a large life science facility in Bangalore, several products developed by them, like this, which comes from seaweeds and helps in promotion of growth of different plants in agriculture, or to a new antibiotic which is likely to come, still under trial. All of this possible because of things which happen at what is called CCAMP, Center for Cellular Molecular Platforms, which is hand-holding startups, companies to take that last leap. In the 21st century, if India has to succeed and a new India has to come about, like Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been speaking about, then the translation from Saraswati to Lakshmi is very critical. I am standing at one of India's most innovative clusters for life science. I am at the Center for Cellular Molecular Platforms, a very unique facility which translates what scientists do in the laboratory into products. I have with me Dr. Taslim Arif Syed. Pleasure having you on the show, Taslim.
Absolutely a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Dr. Taslim is a trained biotechnologist before he converted into being a CEO of this CCAMP facility. He is also somebody who's trained at the Wharton School of Management. Dr. Taslim, what is CCAMP? As I said, is it an innovation company or do you do some camping stuff?
Yeah, no, it's a very good light way of starting it, Pallava. So if I may say that, I think CCAMP is a phenomenal example of bold thinking by government in terms of building models which are newer models, bolder models to take science forward. If I may say so, CCAMP was set up in 2010 as a catalyst organization, an enabler organization, which would actually take the scientific surroundings and take that knowledge to the next level.
These are the companies which you have had here at some point or the other and who have turned into full-fledged profit-making companies, some of them?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are the companies which have been supported by CCAMP over years, not only here, but across India. So CCAMP, we are headquartered in Bangalore, but we have presence across India through our innovations, building phenomenal innovations in healthcare, agriculture, animal health, and environment across India.
Dr. Taslim, what a beautiful facility in the middle of Bangalore, tranquil, peaceful. What is unique about CCAMP?
When we started way back in 2010, it was an experimental model. Among many scientific research institutes, emerging or building an organization which would have a play of a catalyst, an enabler, and hope that catalyst would build more out of what is available around was the experimental model, a catalyst model. And for me, it's like a soccer field play. A soccer field play where you have midfield players who take the advances.
Soccer is football.
Soccer is football, yes, sorry. So where it takes advances from the defense play and give it to the strikers and make sure the entire play happens in the middle, to be honest. One of the best players, like Zidane, who actually made sure that it is given in the right direction, whether the right flank or the left flank and so on. And I think CCAMP has a role to play on that. How do you take the early scientific understanding? How do you take either in a pure basic research or for the innovation, how do you make it happen and give it to the people who will deliver and score the goal at last? The scoring of an innovation, scoring of an impact, scoring of building an economic value to the nation actually would come from that. So that's why it's a very unique model according to me.
So are you a referee or are you the captain?
We are in the midfield for now. We don't need to really go to the referee or captain. But I think it's very important play is like if you just turn around and say, it's like a relay. Every science has a value chain. Every 100 meter, there is a specific role for everyone. So the relay race has to happen. Science has to be taken from idea to the proof of concept to translation to building the productization, and then the market. And every player has to be specialized. The more we understand that there are different flavors of science, it will be good for us because then we can actually build different scientific careers out of it.
How many companies or startups or industries in number, broad number, have either been incubated here or have gone through in some form of their life cycle?
Correct. So in a way, at CCAMP, we support deep science innovation, and more or less the idea is to pick risky early stage concepts of science and help them through the value chain, be it from supporting at the funding level, mentoring, hand-holding, looking at the larger picture, and incubating as well. We have around 250 of our own startups where we have started them at the idea level. And these are really our own, kind of, as you get spin-offs of sorts. And then, but we are in touch with nearly 1,000 or 1,500 startups nearly who are being supported in some manner, but not our own startups.
And this is all India?
This is across India. We are very clear that we want to have an impact across India. There is potential, there is scientific potential, there is entrepreneurial potential across India, not only in Bangalore, but we can leverage their sitting here and helping them wherever they are across any geography of India.
Dr. Tasleem, you've dealt with startups for a while. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government has that phrase, Stand Up India, Start Up India. Are there startups who are ready to take and move ahead with this? What's your experience?
I think we are absolutely on the road, and I think it has coincided with a really very strategic emerging of some of the central government and state level agencies like Department of Biotechnology's BIRAC, the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistant Council. Then you have at the same time NITI Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission, AIM as we call it. The Department of Science and Technology has had NSTDB, the National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board. This, nurturing ecosystems have provided the support to build young, risky, science-based entrepreneurship and startups, which I believe is very, very important. I think when you want to build innovations, there have to be vehicles. And to take science further, the vehicle of entrepreneurship and startup is the key. Without that, we are going to struggle stagnation of science at the early stage. We will not have vehicles who will take it forward. I think this is very important, and I'm very positive what I have seen in the last 8 to 10 years. I think we are on the right path. We are also understanding what we need to do more. So I would not say that we are completely fine. There are areas that we need to improve, but I think we are on the right path, and we have to possibly, keep pushing the innovation frontier, the startup frontier, and ensure that we go for the global excellence. We do not necessarily go only for Indian level excellence or national excellence. We should compete, support innovations to compete at the global level, and then build infrastructure which can actually make it happen over the next 1 or 2 or 3 decades.
So what do you do at CCAMP? Do you do hand-holding or do you do seed funding? Are you like a venture capitalist? What exactly do you do?
So I think very important thing is to spot an important idea that you think can solve a problem on the ground. I think the journey starts from there. Can you keep, as I use the phrase, can you keep your antennas open and upright to see that where these interesting ideas are floating around, attract them, talk to them, and see if you can nurture those ideas further. There are means to support them. There are means to support them from the seed funding. There are means to support them from mentorship, incubation. But these are the means. What you importantly do is that take that idea, help that idea to nurture into a nice level, and then go through the entire journey toward productization. At CCAM, more or less, we have now been completing the circle from idea to product all the way. And the COVID-19, some of the work actually is a great gratification for us because we could actually become relevant in this difficult time.
So who can partner with you?
Oh, absolutely. It begins with scientists, very importantly. As scientists and the science is at the core of it. And when I say scientists, they are not necessarily academic scientists, but scientists from every flavor of science. It can be from industry, individuals, and so on. Let's begin with that. Then you have different stakeholders who are also very keen to support and be a part of this, science-based startup ecosystem. And so government is there. The private funders are there. Big corporates who want to partner further. The regulatory agencies who want to support something like that. And very importantly, then you have the implementation ecosystem. So let's call it healthcare ecosystem, right? On the ground, state level, central level, agricultural ecosystem. So I think these are the different stakeholders who can work with CCAM to ensure that we can nurture interesting breakthrough new ideas and impact the society, which is important to solve problems that we are seeing around us.
Dr. Taslim, can you name some of the companies or some success stories from your portfolio?
Absolutely. So I think just to pick a few which are most recent, there have been many, but a few companies which made a significant difference in COVID times. So if I take the example like MyLab, MyLab got supported through CCAM for increasing the capacity for diagnostics building for that program. And as you know, they were one of the first ones to come out for COVID diagnostics, and they continue to build it across rapid antigen, the home-based, and possibly many more would come out. We had the capacity to support them through CCAM. Their labs, their tests were done here. And I think it was right for us to be a collaborator with them, a partner for them to take their innovations.
Would it be correct to say they were part of what transformed from an RT-PCR test from being 4,500 rupees per test to now sub 700 rupees? MyLab played a role?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think MyLab and many others who played a huge role in terms of affordability, what you brought up, at the same time, the accessibility, right? While we can right now go and get our RT-PCR done, it wasn't possible a year back. We needed a prescription. And that is the difference of accessibility and affordability so that the common people go and get them tested. And as you know, testing is the main foundation for ensuring that we can bring the COVID-19 pandemic down.
And the team at CCAM was instrumental in that.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. Our one of the programs which was meant for the capacity building in diagnostics played a key role in working with MyLab to bring their products out.
Having heard about the success of MyLab, let us now go inside the facilities and take a look at some of the industrial partners and startups who are making India self-reliant. Let's go. We are in CCAM with a company called Bugworks, which works on making new antibiotics. And we have with us Dr. Santanu Datta. Dr. Datta, what does Bugworks do and what is the beautiful new molecule you have?
We have the new molecule which is christened as BW977. It is the first molecule which is broad spectrum antibiotic. That means it kills both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. This is the first new class of molecule that has been discovered in the last 60 years. We all have heard about AMR, antimicrobial resistance, and unfortunately, the numbers in India are extremely large. So we think that the solution for this problem will come from India, from Bangalore, from CCAM, and our molecule will start the phase 1 clinical trial within a couple of weeks.
So this is a synthetic molecule?
Yes, this is a synthetic molecule designed and based on the structure of the target. Everything has been done here, but we have a global network who has evaluated the data in multiple labs around the world.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us, and I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Let's go and take a look at some of the other works being done at CCamp. I'm in the wet laboratory of CCamp, and we speak to Shailaja Noori, who is a biotechnologist and co-founder of C6 Energy, a company which is using seaweeds. What do you do with seaweeds?
So at C6 Energy, we tap the potential of seaweeds to develop solutions to some of the global problems in agriculture, animal health, and even to make plastics, to replace plastics. And we actually grow this seaweed, which is a red seaweed, Carbophycus alvarezi, and we have developed systems to grow this at a very large scale. And we've also developed very unique active ingredients which can be converted into products like agrogain, which help plant growth, or products which can help plant immunity and even enhance animal immunity. We've also developed prototypes to make biodegradable plastics from seaweed. So overall, we think that seaweeds represent a very huge potential to actually solve all of these global problems.
And are we using enough seaweeds as a resource?
Yes, we do use seaweeds in our daily life in most of the most of the food applications, and even in some of the dairy and milkshake applications. So it's part of our daily life, but we are actually going beyond what is already known about these red seaweeds, and we are developing applications which are scalable and globally applicable.
And show us some more products.
Yeah. So.
And what does each do?
Yeah, so this product, Agfort, actually improves animal immunity, and we have seen that it can help reduce plant viral diseases, which is one of its kind, because currently there are no solutions for plant viral diseases in the world. And we also have developed products which can actually improve immunity in animals, like shrimp, against bacterial and viral diseases. And these are some examples of the kind of films that we can make with seaweed, which can potentially replace plastics in the future.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of its kind.
So it's what
it's a thin film.
Biodegradable?
Completely biodegradable from seaweed.
A company incubated at CCamp using seaweeds to give India products which can help become self-reliant and be environment friendly, like this biodegradable film which can replace plastics. Thanks a lot, Shailaja, for speaking to us. At CCamp, one more company which is doing well, BioMonitor, which takes care of getting germs out of the way in air. And we have Dr. Janani Venkatraman. What do you do and what is this box all about?
Pleasure to be speaking with you, Pallava. BioMonitor basically makes solutions to prevent the spread of infections. Originally meant for hospital spaces, but now post-COVID, as we worry about infection in our homes and our community also, in those spaces as well. So our first product, our flagship product, which we call the Z-Box, is an air decontamination product. Takes in air which has multiple microbes which can cause disease. This is not just COVID, which we are familiar with in today's world, but also things like, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which cause TB, even, influenza, the common cold, so many other respiratory disorders. This is a device that is able to take in air with those germs, and there is a proprietary technology on the inside which is able to pull germs out of the path of free-flowing air, trap them and completely destroy them. So by the time air actually exits the device, you are, you've taken care of a wide range of pathogenic organisms which could cause respiratory disorders.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us. A supercharged air purifier which can get rid of germs, coming from a company in CCamp. We speak to another company at CCamp, Pandorum, and we speak to Dr. Parinita Agarwal, who specializes in giving people new eyes and new ways to look. What does your company do, Parinita?
Pandorum Technologies is a tissue engineering and regenerative medicine company. We provide vision to the patients who are blind from birth and also who can get blind because of various accidents. So apart from giving vision, we are also looking into providing regenerative solutions for various other organs like liver, lungs. Recently, we have started a therapeutic vesicle production for COVID patients who can regenerate their lungs back after getting infected with COVID.
So do you have products in hand?
Yeah, we do have some products like for cornea. We are already in a preclinical stage, and maybe by the next year we will be starting our human trials as well.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us. Let's go. A beautiful location, a beautiful setting, and one more company with a very interesting product, Spot Sense, and we have with us Amrita Sukriti, who has this product which helps in antimicrobial resistance. Tell me a little bit about your work.
So SpotSense is a company that is creating rapid diagnostics across bedside diagnostics and clinical chemistry. And our intention is to make diagnostics so accessible that it stops prophylactic antibiotics altogether. It stops empirical antibiotic prescription. And that is how we help in fighting antimicrobial resistance. So what this product does specifically, this is a product that we designed to be an analyzer that can be used at community, where our ASHA workers or our health workers can go door to door and examine in villages or in tier 2 and tier 3 cities patients for simple biochemical markers, infectious diseases, or also any kind of non-communicable diseases. So that's the product. Our flagship test actually was for newborn babies, where we were testing them both screening and monitoring for neonatal sepsis. The main part of our product was that it was globally the first product ever to do this without using blood. So we use saliva. It is a non-invasive product, and you do not need the hassle of pricking the baby, doing a heel prick, storing the sample. You can just take a drop of saliva, put it on the cassette, put the cassette in our product. It gives you the results. It gives you the sepsis severity score, and it helps the doctor decide then and there what should be the next step for the newborn.
And antimicrobial resistance is a big issue, and you have a solution for that.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us. We are in a beautiful surrounding at CCamp, another company, iStem, and we have with us Dr. Rajarshri Pal. Dr. Rajarshri, you work with stem cells and eyes. What do you do?
What we do in iStem is we use stem cells to look at the retinal degenerative disorders. We are using pluripotent stem cells to make retinal pigment epithelial cells, which are the cells which are lost as a result of age-related macular degeneration. We make them outside the human body in the dish, and we actually transplant them inside the animal models, and we wish to do that in the humans later. We are also looking at another disorder called retinitis pigmentosa, which is caused as a result of the loss of photoreceptors, which we are again making outside the human body and hoping to transplant in the animal models and then finally into the human beings. In the long run, we also want to work on a disorder called pulmonary fibrosis, which is as a result of loss of alveolar cells, and Parkinson's disorder, which is a loss of dopamine producing cells.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us.
Thank you, sir.
Having seen so many different companies and startups which have been part of CCamp, Dr. Tasleem, what is your success rate of incubating companies here?
No, I think it's a very interesting question. When you look back around 8 to 10 years of work, you could actually define success differently. But for us, success of deep science ideas and helping them further, if they go on to become a kind of a productizable idea, something that goes to market, I think we already have around 25 to 30 products in market. That is, already 10% of our companies have reached market and serving people. But in general, many of them are still in gestation time. And we are hoping that our overall rate would be easily somewhere 25 to 30%.
And in COVID times, you did several special initiatives. What is the kind of people you reached in numbers? What is the kind of products which have come out of CCAM, which are touching lives?
I think this is very important question and also work for us. In COVID times, we did many programs, two large programs. One was the COVID Innovation Deployment Accelerator and the other one was the Diagnostics Capacity Building. By the COVID Innovation Deployment Accelerator itself, we had assessed 1,100 innovations.
1,100?
1,100, more than 1,100 innovations rather. And then those were selected, out of those 30 were selected. And out of those 30, almost 23 of them are in the market serving people. Just a quick view of how many of those innovations served people, around 1 million lives have been touched by them itself within this short time. And they will continue to do so as they go forward.
Now, are youngsters in India ready to take that risk of getting in, leave their regular government jobs and do venture work and entrepreneurship?
I would say we are on that trajectory. We are on that trajectory. I'm very optimistic. Many of the innovations that you met today, it clearly gives you an early career that people have been able to come out of the safe zone of salaried job or corporate life and follow their passion, follow the cause, and they have been able to bring it out. So I think trajectory is super. We have to build on that. There is always early good starts, but you have to keep the momentum and build on it. And I think India is on that trajectory, and I'm very, very optimistic about it.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us. And I can see your training at the Wharton School of Management is showing as success stories at CCAM. Thanks a lot for speaking.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
There is lots of science which happens, but that science many times doesn't get translated into tangible products. At the Center for Cellular Molecular Platforms, a lot of science which is done on the benches gets translated into products which actually touch the lives of Indians. A way and the right way for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Keep watching India Science.